Hey, it's Jason Creel. I wanted to do a quick follow-up on a previous video I did talking about equipment, and the main point I was trying to make in another video, and I'll put a link to it if you want to watch it to see what I'm talking about if you haven't seen it yet. But it's a video and I was trying to emphasize the importance of people not making big financial mistakes when they start out in the lawn business. So if you have, like I said, one guy, if you've got 10 customers, to me it doesn't make sense to have a $10,000 mower unless, I guess there are exceptions to the rule, because I told him, I sort of contradicted myself, honestly. I bought an $11,000 spray rig when I was starting my weed control and fertilization business when I had 0 customers. And I will say that, in my mind, I had built a lawn business before, and so I had a lot of confidence that it was going to work. But it's more risky. I mean, if you put a lot of money in on the front side and your business doesn't get off the ground, or you're not sure if the lawn business is for you, you risk losing that money. And so I typically, if I was giving advice to someone, would try to encourage them to start smaller and get the business going, get some cash flow coming in, and then you can upgrade your equipment later. But so that was kind of what the other video was about. What I wanted to clarify on, because I got some good feedback from that. Some people agree, some didn't, but I do think there is a point in your business to where not spending money on your equipment or on your marketing, on whatever, ends up costing you money. So I don't want to sound like I'm Dave Ramsey or something and never take on debt, or because I have before tried to avoid business debt when possible, but like I said, I'm looking into possibly financing an upgraded truck here soon. And so I think there is a time. So let me talk about my truck, for instance. Give you an example. So when I started my weed control and fertilization business, and I'm also mowing, but when I started that, I bought an older truck that was fine, to get me going. It looked fine, but it was older. Well, over the course of 18 months or so, I've had some maintenance issues go wrong with it. Nothing big. Engine, transmission's fine, but just had water pump, starter, had replaced 2 batteries, had some kind of sensor go out, little kind of annoying things, but they add up in the amount of cost. And not only add up in the expense of getting repaired, it puts you out of work. If you only have one truck, you got to wait and get that truck fixed, or perhaps you can borrow a truck, or you have a backup or something, but at best it's an inconvenience. At worst it can shut you down for a little while. So what I'm saying is, so now I can't necessarily go pay cash for the next truck I'm looking for, which I'm probably not going to buy a new truck, but maybe something in the $10,000 to $15,000 range. Well, I can't pay cash for that, unfortunately, at the moment. So, but to me, and this is not to contradict my previous video about making good financial decisions, but I'm trying to clarify on that. I think there is a time when spending money and even possibly financing stuff makes sense. So for me, I can keep the truck I have, risk further repairs, as well as the potential downtime. Or you think, well, let's say that I buy a $15,000 truck, I finance it at 3% interest over the course of 3 or 4 years. So maybe each month I'm paying out, I'm just throwing out a number, I hadn't done the math, but let's say $40, $50, $40 or $50 worth of interest. So I'm costing myself $40 or $50 in interest. So you would think that's not a great decision, but if you look at what my other truck might cost in repairs, I think at this time it's the best decision. Not only that, I'm at a point where I don't need to be shut down because my truck's not working. So I need something dependable. I need something good looking to really, give an image to my business. And so to me, it makes sense, even though it is costing me more money. And the truck I have, in theory, still works and still can do everything I need a lawn truck to do. So I think the same thing happens with lawnmowers. You know, I've been in situations where I had an older mower and you start having to shell out money for repairs, and maybe $300 one time, maybe something worse goes wrong and it's $1,000, you know, whatever it is. It's an older mower and you think this thing, you know, still does the job, but then you start putting money into repairs, and the problem is, almost with, you know, maybe a few exceptions, it seems like no matter how much money you put into that mower, it's still only worth what it's worth. I mean, maybe it's worth $2,000 that, you know, once it gets older. Well, apart from putting a new engine on it, which will probably cost you $2,000, it's not going to go up very much in value. And even if you put a new engine on it, you know, if it's a 12-year-old mower with 1,500 hours on it, it's just not going to go up on much value even then. And so I've seen guys do it both ways. I'm not here arguing right or wrong. Some guys just put a new engine on and keep riding them, you know, when they blow up, and then maybe they get another 2,000 hours and put another engine on, you know, and that's, if that works, fine. I tend to take the other approach, and if I can upgrade that mower, like I said, it may even make sense to finance a mower, to have better, more dependable, and this is the key, more productive equipment. And so I think it wouldn't make sense to have a push mower and be out there and just say, well, I'm going to use this push mower, it's cheaper, I got it for $300, and I'm not spending, you know, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $10,000 on a zero-turn mower. I can push them and make them look better than those guys. Well, there comes a point, maybe that's true, and this is why I try to encourage people starting out is, you know, if you're just starting out and you're just trying to get a taste for lawn care, then go ahead. But there comes a point pretty quickly where your route begins to get full, and you're actually costing yourself money by not upgrading to a bigger, nicer, faster, more productive mower. And so it might make sense to make a $200 a month payment. You know, like I said, I say that carefully because I don't like owing money to people and to banks and creditors and that sort of thing. But there might be a time where that makes sense. I just am real hesitant to do that on the front end of a business, you know, or advising somebody to. I think you need to make sure that your business is off the ground, it's running, you got money coming in, and then like, hey, I've got money coming in, I'm kind of, you know, filling up my schedule. If I was able to upgrade my equipment, I could do this many more yards and make this much more money. You know, and so at that point you're like, boom, I'm going to upgrade, and maybe I can't pay cash for it now, but I'm going to finance it and I'm going to get it paid off as quick as I can. I think the people I see that get caught is they just live financing everything, and even their established business is constantly hampered by debt, and it just makes it a challenge, you know, because that you just got tons of money going out every month to pay for your truck, your equipment, and, you know, not to mention most of us have a mortgage on a house, or, you know. So anyway, I'm just trying to clarify my point. I'm not a financial expert by any means, but I don't like, I've had a business, a separate business in the past that was not lawn care, where I feel like I made a financial mistake on the front end, took too big of a risk, too big of an investment on the front end, and the business did not get going like I thought. So, and it cost me, you know, a good bit of money. So it didn't go bankrupt or anything, but it hurt bad enough to where I played a little more cautious now. So hope this video helps. As always, I like your feedback. If you're not subscribed, click the subscribe button and stay tuned for what I hope is relevant and useful info. Thanks.